clear that I appreciate the fact that the press has taken time to be here today with Kelly Schaffner, Vicki Byrne, and Needy Kelly, who are our current school board members. These ladies, out of their own money and their own hard work, went and put out $5,000 worth of signs, and school board signs that are signs that you see around town. As you know, an election's coming up in November, and they went and asked their neighbors and their friends and their families if they could, in fact, put these signs out. And so not only did they have to purchase the signs, then they had to take all the time it takes to go put all these signs out. They took a matter of weeks putting the signs out. They worked hard putting the signs out. And since that date that they put most of the signs out, which was around the end of September, I think, almost 100% of the signs are gone. Okay, and I've been in politics in this area for over 30 years, and never in my memory have I ever seen an election where almost all the opponent's signs are removed. It's just uncanny. And so what makes this the most uncanny and the saddest feature is the fact that this is a school board race, and this is all about our children. And you know, you hear of a few signs missing, and you hear you know, some bumper stickers missing or things like that, but never have we been in the situation when we looked around, all of our signs were missing everywhere. Now, they put up a few more signs that they have left, but we expect those to be missing too. But this is the example of how how politics and elections can miss their purpose, and the purpose for these ladies has been to the school system and the kids. So this is my statement. Dirty politics is nothing new, and healthy debates around election time have been with us since the earliest days of our country. Our Constitution is the foundation of our democracy, and that foundation remains strong, but occasionally it is necessary to take action to make our electoral process fairer, more inclusive, and more transparent. I am deeply disappointed in the actions of a few which have reflected poorly on Middlesboro in this Middlesboro School Board race. Candidates for school board need to think more about the next generation than the next election. We need to restore an electoral process where everyone has a chance to speak equally and be heard. When our election can be affected negatively by criminal activity, it is harder for our citizens to elect the kind of leaders we need to take on the serious challenges we face. Democracy thrives on openness and accountability, and the election process must be seen as fair and open so that the election results are seen as legitimate. This isn't about who you're voting for school board. This is about the good citizens of this town taking a stand and saying no to those who have attempted to rule based on fear and intimidation. Our citizens deserve better than this. Many American lives have been sacrificed so that we are all entitled to an open and fair election that is not influenced by intimidation, criminal activity. It's time to be worried about our kids rather than our election. And to make this clear, ladies and gentlemen, anytime you steal anything over $1,000, it's a felony, okay? So each one of these ladies has had a felony committed against them, all right? I have called and talked to the Attorney General's office. They are investigating these felonies that have been committed. Obviously, we don't point a finger at anybody directly, but we do point a finger at supporters of these ladies' opponents that are conducting criminal activities against these ladies and taking away what these ladies stand for, and that is that our children have good examples of leaders in this community. And so the bottom line is now something that they've done. None of these three ladies have any children in our current school system. They all did, but their children are all raised now. But even with no children in the school system, they've spent thousands of their own dollars, and they committed to continue to run and continue to serve on the board over the years that they've been on the board, to do it for no other reason than they love their community and they care for the community. And now they end up being intimidated. Their support is intimidated. We have examples where one of the people that we had put a big sign in the yard had been called and harassed and were basically intimidated into removing the sign out of the yard. We have another supporter of theirs that had been asked to put their opponent's signs in the yard, but in fact, when they put their signs up, the next day those signs were stolen out of the yard. And we have example after example after example of this, and those are the things that just make this so ironic and absolutely have me galled, and I think should have the citizens of Middlesboro galled, is that here we're dealing with school children, and we're dealing with examples for school children, and this is the kind of example that we want to leave to our school children here in Middlesboro. Well, I want to make sure, that the Middlesboro voters understand that they have an opportunity now to make an example that cheaters never win, okay? We want to make sure that to the school children that cheaters don't win. These ladies can't afford to go out and buy $5,000 more signs. So in the meantime, they're going to just exist on their good reputations and their friends and families. But in the end, I hope the citizens of Middlesboro tell these cheaters that they are not going to win, and that we leave this as an example to the school children of Middlesboro that cheaters don't win. At this point, I'll ask if anybody have any questions of any of the particular school board members.
How were you retained, sir?
I am the attorney for Kelly Schaffner. I'm her brother-in-law.
The press release also mentioned going to the police department and filing a complaint. Is that correct?
Yes. As a matter of fact, the police officer is going to be taking the statements as soon as we get done with the press conference.
If someone was to have some information about these signs being stolen, who could they contact?
If they would contact P.D. Gilbert or the Middlesboro Police Department, P.D.'s in charge of the investigation. They could contact me, Michael D. Bowling, here at my law office, or they can contact the Attorney General's office. We would appreciate them if they have any information that they would provide that information for it. And we will be actually placing a reward out for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of anybody that has in fact stolen the signs.
You talked about a threat. Does this fall under the guise of a voter intimidation complaint?
Yes, it does, and those are some of the grounds that we've already talked to the Attorney General's office on, and they are asking for all the information that we gather.
One more question, sir. Over the years, signs have disappeared all over the county from time to time, depending on the race that's being run. What makes this one different?
Because this is a race about school kids. This is about schools and children, and if you're going to steal signs, this is the worst example of the time to steal signs.